I thought opening up with a traffic report would give the audience an idea of what I do every day. You know, I calculated I've done over 95,000 reports in over 30 years, but never in front of a live audience.
WBAL News Radio 1090 Traffic.
If you travel north along I-95 and you're going up toward the White Marsh area, watch out. There's an overturned tractor trailer carrying chickens on the roadway. The roadway is actually completely blocked and there is trucks all over the place. Now, if you want to get through the area, you're going to have to find a detour. Here's what we recommend. Route 40, Pulaski Highway. Philadelphia Road is a good alternate. Route 1, Bel Air Road, or Hartford Road. Take it up to 152, cut back across to I-95. It puts you above the accident scene. Now, getting there along 695 along the inner loop, you'll find backed up traffic beginning back in Parkville at Hartford Road. Hartford Road to 95 is jammed solid, and on the outer loop, you'll find delays beginning back in Rosedale at Pulaski Highway, and that's going to continue toward the ramps at I-95. The Jones Falls Expressway looks fine right now. No problems leaving the downtown area. If you're using the Fort McHenry or the Harbor Tunnel, you're okay till you get up toward that White Marsh area, and then you'll see all sorts of backed up traffic. Going to the beach, probably not a bad idea right now. Eastbound Route 50 looks good. Coming off of 97 and continuing out to the Severn River and the Bay Bridge with all lanes open, no problems at all getting all the way out to the eastern shore. Once you get on the 404, it's a clear trip all the way out to the Delaware line. That's news, traffic, and weather. I'm Dave Sandler, WBAL Traffic. Sometimes being in the right place at the right time, it can be life-saving. Warning signs. Pay attention to your body. Make sure you listen to what it's telling you, because I don't want to scare anybody, but it could lead to something like that. And if you're not on top of it, and of course I was extremely lucky. Think about it for a second. Do you think a softball field would be the first place that you would think about being a great place to be in having an event like that, a medical event? Well, you got to say yes, because you've got about, in our case, we have 4 games going on at one time. There's about 25 players on each team, and there's about 100 people at that site. Hopefully somebody there knows what to do. Because if you're driving your car by yourself, if you're taking a shower by yourself, if you're home doing gardening, having lunch, playing with your dog by yourself, what do you do if you go down? Nobody even knows you're down. You know, so to me, the softball field, that place that I love, that thing that I enjoy doing so much, saved me again. The Susquehanna River helped me find my courage, and boy, did I need something when I was going solo. Hey, maybe it would be a good idea, not only, because I knew how to fly the plane, but maybe it would be a good idea for me to get my own license and fly my own plane. I could save the pilot fee. So I started taking lessons, and I'd be up with the pilot, and we'd fly around, and he would show me the instruments and do all the things that you have to do mapping-wise and all the things that you do to get certification. And then he said, Dave, it's time to do your solo flight, your solo cross-country flight. Okay, well, what does cross-country mean? You need to fly 60 miles away from the original airport where you take off. You need to go to the destination. You need to see it, like check it off, turn around, and go back home. I said, hey, this is a piece of cake. I can do this. I know all the areas because we fly all over the place. So here's the trip. The trip is leaving from the Carroll County Airport in Westminster at, let's say, noon. Everybody know where Westminster is? A little bit further north and west of us? The trip is to fly all the way to the Tidings Bridge. The Tidings Bridge is over the Susquehanna at I-95. There's a little toll booth there, okay? So we kind of got an idea where we're going? So I take off from Westminster. I'm in great shape. The weather looks like, just like today, perfect. 80 degrees, sunny, clear, no problem. I start making my way up towards Hartford County. I know I'm getting close. I see I-95. I see the Bel Air Tollgate Mall. I see the Hartford Mall. I know where I am. Continue. As I'm going up, I'm starting to say, okay, I should be getting pretty close to the Tidings Bridge right about now, because it's the next county up. It's at the Hartford-Cecil County line, and there's a big strip of water underneath of it. It's called the Susquehanna River. Okay, so pretty simple. I fly up, I see the body of water, I look down, no Tidings Bridge. No bridge at all. I see body of water, but I don't see where 95 and the Tidings Bridge connect. And I'm thinking, what the heck's going on now? I start sweating. I start feeling warm. I start feeling cold. My hands are clammy. I don't know what's going on. I am in full panic mode at that point. Anybody here ever had a panic attack? This is what I'm going through right now. I see the body of water, but here's what I didn't factor in. There's a little bit of breeze blowing. This breeze has blown me somewhere off course, where the Susquehanna is not just over top of I-95, it goes all the way up into Pennsylvania and a little further south than that as well. So I'm looking for my landmark. I'm looking for that Tidings Bridge, and I can't find it. And at that point, I don't even care what happens because I'm in this panic mode. I take my hands off of the wheel, and I'm just thinking, what am I doing? And then I think, I don't even care what I'm doing. I'm very, very much in this state of panic. And we have in our airplane a two-way radio that we use not only to talk to air traffic control, but I have a direct microphone into the radio station. Not the one that I go on the air with, but one that you can talk to like as a two-way radio to communicate back and forth to the station in case they have something that they want to tell me or I want to tell them. Well, believe me, I had something that I wanted to tell them right then and there, but I didn't want to let on. So I said, hey, can anybody hear me? And I'm kind of squeaking it out like a mouse because I can't get up enough breath to be able to bark it out. And nobody comes back to the mic. And then I said, hey, it's Dave. Can anybody hear me? So somebody snaps back up onto the mic real quick. He goes, yeah, Dave, what's going on? I said, I just want to test out the mic to make sure I'm okay, just to make sure it's working. I didn't want to let on at that point. And I started doing this. Northbound I-95 backup begins at the Fort McHenry Tunnel, goes up to White Marsh Boulevard, and then continues all the way out to the Tidings Bridge. Route 40, Pulaski Highway is doing well. So is Philadelphia Road, and so is Route 1 Bel Air Road. I started doing a traffic report in my head and actually verbally started to do it out loud as well. That familiarity of doing that report snapped me back. I found what was familiar, and it brought myself back, my head back. It brought that panic away. I started to feel calm again. I was able to finally locate the Susquehanna. I turned the plane to the right. I went over top of the Tidings Bridge, and it was there all along. I just hadn't seen it. Something had triggered something in my head, and it took me away for just a moment. But doing that traffic report, doing what was familiar to me, winds up bringing me back to life. So I thought it was a great lesson to remember that if you are in that mode, find something familiar. I know my wife carries a little stone when she feels uncomfortable, and she pulls it out of her pocket and kind of massages that stone because it makes her feel better and brings her back. To me, that's very, very important. Find what's familiar. Make sure that you have it with you because you never know when you may need it. I found out that confiding in someone is extremely important. Going at it alone, not always the best choice. You need a great support group. You do feel something, say something. So if you are feeling anything that's unusual or different, I don't think it could hurt to tell somebody about it, and they'll get you to a place that can help you, whether it's a doctor's office or an emergency room. Holding it in doesn't make any sense to me. You know, trying to be that bigger person, just say, I'm okay, I can push through it. I'm not a big believer in that anymore because I've gotten so much help over the years. Surround yourself with the right people. It's going to make a big difference in your life for sure. I'm a lucky guy. I had numerous chances, and I guess God was just not ready to take me yet. Why did it happen? Because the radiation that was delivered to my chest back in 1982, over the course of time, was narrowing the arteries in my heart, the four main arteries leading to my heart. And that caused the blood supply not to be there. So I'm running around the bases. I score this winning run in the championship game, and I black out. I go down on the field, and I clinically die on the field. And if it wasn't for the luck, the sheer good fortune that I had 2 doctors present and available to me that day, well, I wouldn't even be here talking to you at this point. How lucky can you be? How much good fortune could you have to be able to have those people present? They got on me right away. One of the doctors was a cardiologist. All he didn't have his instruments, he didn't have any fancy devices. He had his mouth and he had his hands to give compressions along with another doctor. And they brought me back to life. So it just how fortunate can you be to have that? You would never think that a softball field would be a great place to go down and have an event. But because of the fact that I had a lot of people around me and some of them knew how to perform CPR, that was a huge, huge deal for me. That was a life-saving, a life-changing moment for me. Bypass surgery was not the only obstacle in my way. When you're on the air, you need to be able to breathe, and sometimes I couldn't. I was struggling to be able to breathe, to be able to do my traffic reports. So there I am again, battling this situation, slightly different. My heart seems to be okay, but now my lungs aren't. So I had to go back. This time I went to Johns Hopkins because they had some good specialists there, and I had Johns Hopkins take care of the lung surgeries. Very difficult to battle back from them. I have a lot of scarring in my lungs now. It makes for a very difficult time to be on the air, to be able to really punch out that traffic report, nice and loud, nice and strong. I can do it, but it takes effort that I never had to make that type of effort before. In addition to that, unfortunately, because of the lung surgeries, I really can't move around that well and start playing softball again. So now golf's my favorite sport. Golf's a little bit easier. You can ride a cart, you can pull up to your ball, you can hit it, get back in the cart and move around again. I can move around. I can do the things I want to do. I'd like to be able to do more. But like I said before, the fact that I'm here talking to you today makes me feel like I'm a winner regardless.